Welcome to another episode of the Harvey Hour. My name is Nathan Harvey, and as always, I'm joined alongside my dad, Stephen Harvey. How are we doing today on a Tuesday evening? Monday Night Football, Patriots able to get the win. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Happy to be here and excited about football and basketball.
Yeah, we got a pretty packed show. A lot going on into today's show. So let's break it down. Let's get into it right now. We're talking about last night's game, Monday Night Football. New England Patriots going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, let's start with that news first. We'll talk about the Cardinals for a second. Kyler Murray, MRI revealed that he is out with a ACL tear. He'll be out for the rest of the year, and we probably won't see him until about Thanksgiving. That means probably Colt McCoy will be the starting quarterback moving forward. The Cardinals didn't seem like a playoff team anyway. So let's just start with, where do you think the Cardinals looking ahead into next season? Do you think they'll draft a quarterback for a sort of a backup? Because earlier this year, the road to get to the season was pretty bumpy. You had the Kyler Murray issue. His agent was saying that he wasn't going to stay on the team without a big contract. He gets the deal. You have DeAndre Hopkins, who's out for 6 games due to PEDs. Where do you think the Cardinals are going to go moving forward into next season, 2023?
It's interesting. I think with Kyler Murray hurt now and not able to come back until kind of late next year, and the Cardinals not having a very good record, they're going to have a reasonably high draft pick. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the draft this time. They might pick one in the first round. They might pick a quarterback in the first round. And I think they'll stick with Colt McCoy for next year. If they do that, then I think they'll stick with Colt McCoy and see whether the rookie can knock him out of there and start the season, and with Murray coming back in November.
Okay.
So I think that's a possibility.
Right.
It's a possibility. But I don't think the Cardinals didn't look like they were going to the playoffs either way.
No, not at all.
I think their owner must be pretty disappointed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't played well with that team that they just gave big contracts to. They gave Kingsbury till 2027.
Right.
The GM is hired for a long stretch, and Murray got that big contract. Now he's hurt. It's tough to come back from an ACL.
Yeah.
Right. So, and Kingsbury hasn't done he's done a poor job as the head coach.
Right.
So I'm sure the owner is all upset, and I don't blame him.
I'm gonna say, well, first of all, let's start with that. You mentioned the draft. They currently have the 8th pick.
The 8th pick
in the draft. Yes.
Yeah. So there's going to be a very good quarterback there for them. Prospect.
Fox Sports has them picking an offensive lineman, from Northwestern, Peter Skoronsky.
Yeah.
So I don't believe there's only one quarterback. There's 2 quarterbacks picked in the top, I guess 8. The Arizona Cardinals are not one of them. You have the Panthers picking up a quarterback according to this, and you also have the Houston Texans picking up a quarterback.
Yeah.
So Cardinals not one of them. Colt McCoy will unless you do something in free agency, which I don't think you'll really have many choices. You are kind of sticking with Colt McCoy for,
he's not bad.
A couple months.
He's not bad.
When it comes to backup quarterbacks, yeah, he's probably one of the premium backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, he is. He's getting old, though. I mean, he's 36, so. But that doesn't mean much now in the Brady era.
Yeah,
right?
well.
You can play till you're 46.
You still have to be good, though, in order to play there. It's not you're still going to have a job there. But, this is a big question mark, because Kyler Murray, we saw it last year in the playoffs against the Rams. He did not want to get hit, and then that caused him not to run the ball. Which then that's basically the main part of their offense is Kyler Murray running the ball, extending plays with his legs. He just doesn't want to get hit. Yeah. And even this year, he doesn't want to get hit.
I think how Colt McCoy plays the rest of the season will have some bearing on it, too. If he plays terrible, then they'll probably try to get a different backup.
Maybe.
Right? If he plays well, then they might risk it and try to draft a quarterback. Maybe they would draft the offensive lineman because they don't want to piss off Kyler Murray.
Right.
Right? So, I don't know. It's hard to say what's going to happen.
Yeah, no. I agree with you there. So let's bring it down to the Patriots side now. Mac Jones didn't play that badly. Patriots defense was able to come in the clutch when it needed to and pull out the win here. So right now, the Patriots are in the 7th spot for the playoffs. Are they playoff contenders? Are they contenders for a deep playoff run? Or do you think they're pretenders for a deep playoff run?
Well, there's some criticism out there of the Patriots offense that it's not a caliber offense, right? And that's criticism of Matt Patricia being the play caller when he's really a defensive guy.
Right.
Right. And I think Belichick thinks if you're a great coach, you're plug and play. You can adapt and be really good at any assignment that you get. And Matt Patricia's a smart guy. There's no doubt about it. But
no, he is.
He and Mac Jones have their moments where they don't seem to be on the same page or be getting along very well. You saw it last night a couple of times.
Yeah.
With Mac Jones all upset and saying stuff. I don't think he should be doing that. I really don't. I think it's unprofessional, and I don't think it. I'm sure Belichick doesn't appreciate it, and I don't think it's good for Mac Jones to be doing that kind of stuff in the public eye. Is
it not warranted though?
And even if it could be warranted, but they could talk about it, in the locker room. They don't have to be. He doesn't have to be displaying his anger and frustration out on the field so the fans can all see it. I don't think that's fair to the coach. So anyway, I think that's something they're going to have to work out. Are they contenders or pretenders? Well, you look at the contenders that they're up against. Really, it's the Jets, the Chargers, Jets and Chargers, right? Those are the two. The Dolphins are ahead of them.
Yeah.
They got a game. They're a game ahead there.
Right.
So it's kind of those three teams, principally the Jets and the Chargers, right?
Yes.
The Jets remaining schedule: Lions, Jaguars, Seahawks, Dolphins. That's definitely easier than the Patriots, Raiders, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills.
Yes.
Right?
Very much so.
I think the Pats could win 2 of those games, the Raiders and the Dolphins. They got to win 3 out of 4 if they're going to be contenders, I think, because I think the Jets can beat the Jaguars and the Seahawks. And the Lions are up and coming, right? And they have a shot for the playoffs, so they're going to be playing hard. So I think the Jets have the easiest schedule in the Patriots: Lions, Jaguars, Seahawks, Dolphins. They could win. They'd have to win maybe all 4 of them. If the Patriots won, well, they have to win all 4 if the Patriots could win 3 out of 4. The chances of the Patriots winning 2 out of the 4 and the Jets winning 3 out of the 4, probably that's the more likely. And then the Chargers, they have the easiest schedule of all. They got the Titans who've been playing lousy lately, right?
Yeah.
The Colts have been terrible pretty much all year. The Rams have been awful. Right? Although now they have got new life with Baker Mayfield as their quarterback, right?
I mean,
and the Broncos, who are awful, right? So the Chargers have a good chance of winning 3 out of 4, easy, maybe all 4.
Potentially.
So it's going to go right to the wire.
It is,
and I'm rooting for the Patriots and my team, but I think they've got the hardest. They have the hardest schedule and the hardest way to get there. To win it all. They have it's in their control right now. They have the tiebreaker over the Jets, and they have the conference wins over the Chargers. So they're in right now. If it was, and the season ended today, but we still got a long way to go.
Yeah, we do. You mentioned Mac Jones getting mad at Matt Patricia, and I think it is very much warranted.
But in public?
Because someone needs accountability. And that's
but is that the fair way to do it?
That's what I said when the report came out that Bill Belichick is not going to assign an offensive coordinator title to anybody. And I said that. So how about this? I'm not gonna blame him for making calls. Let's do it based on what their titles are for right now, and then I'll break it down later on. So currently, Joe Judge, let's start with him because he was rumored to be calling plays and maybe he has a little, touch in the offense, a little bit of flavor in the offense. He is currently listed as the QB coach and offensive assistant. Well, if he's the QB coach, he's dealing with Mac Jones developing his game. Mac Jones is the 32nd ranked quarterback in the league out of 37 quarterbacks. Not too good at all. Let's do Matt Patricia now. Matt Patricia is the offensive line and senior advisor for the Patriots. The O-line is ranked 23rd. They are the 18th best team in pass block win rate, and they're dead last in run block win rate. Not a great offensive line, below average. This is through week 16, and even as head coaches, when they do dabble in the offense, because Matt Patricia dealt with an offense back in 2005, so it's been 17 years since he really was a part of the offense, minus the head coaching job. So when he coached 3 years with the Lions, 2018, 19, and 20. His totals on the offense: points scored, 25th in 2018, 18th in 2019, 20th in 2020. That's with Matt Stafford. In yards gained on offense, 24th in 2018, 17th in 2019, and 20th in 2020. QB rankings: Matt Stafford was the 16th, 15th, and 13th best quarterback in the years 2018 to 2020, respectively. How about Joe Judge? He was with the Giants. Second to last both his years coaching, 2020, 2021 in points and yards, but second to last in each of those categories. Daniel Jones was the 26th best quarterback both those years. With an actual offensive mind in Josh McDaniels, Mac Jones was the 16th best quarterback, and this was his rookie year. These are the numbers for his rookie year: 3,801 yards, 22 touchdowns, a 92.5 pass rating, higher than Josh Allen, 67.6% completion percentage, higher than Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and Matthew Stafford. His yards per completion last year was 10.8, the same as Josh Allen, and his yards per attempt, 7.4, same as Mahomes. So Mac Jones was a really, really good rookie underneath a really good offensive mind. Some people are better coordinators than they are head coaches. And we're going to get into this when we talk about Tampa Bay.
Well, both Joe Judge and Matt Patricia were horrible head coaches, right?
That's what I'm saying. They're better coordinators. Some people are better coordinators than head coaches.
Doesn't appeal like they're very good coordinators.
Well, they're in the wrong spot. Joe Judge was a special teams coordinator when late in Brady's career with the Patriots. That's when the special teams was blocking punts. They were doing really well in special teams. Now he's the QB coach for the Patriots, and Mac Jones looks horrible. Matt Patricia was always a defensive guy. Now he's calling offensive plays. Mac Jones is frustrated. He, at the beginning of the second half, on a field goal drive, one of the plays after a delay of game, I believe, Mac Jones waved him off, said, "Nah, I got this," and went back to the huddle. So we're going to talk about this when we get talk about the Bucs 49ers game, but some coaches are just better coordinators. I think Todd Bowles is a better defensive coordinator than he would be head coach.
I agree.
And this league is already moving towards offensive-minded head coaches. Belichick and Todd Bowles are both defensive head coaches, and look at the teams. The offenses are both slow, inefficient, bad in the red zone, can't move the ball down the field. And even the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals even said, it seems like with all the screens and short passes and out routes, it's looking like a defensive coordinator is calling the offensive plays. And he's right. He's 100% right. So I put a lot on the coaches because Mac Jones, I've seen Mac Jones have a lot of talent. I mean, look at his rookie year with an offensive-minded head coach. And what's funny is that sort of
they had a better offensive line last year.
A lot of it was the same, though. A lot of it was the same. Their offensive line hasn't regressed that badly. It really hasn't. Trent Brown is horrible. I'm sorry. Trent Brown is terrible.
Yeah.
At like 6'8", 380, he gets beaten. I think it was did Pierre Strong. Well, I think it was either Pierre Strong or Kevin Harris's rushing touchdown. He got blown up immediately, just barrel rolled straight through him on a running play. That's why they're the worst in run block win rate according to ESPN. Trent Brown.
Where do they rank in their rushing offense, though?
The rushing offense is ranked. Once again, they had 8 penalties in this game too, so bad coaching. 23rd best rushing team. They are the 21st best passing team. They have a decent defense. They're top 10.
Top 10 defense.
Top third. They're top 10 passing. Then they're 12th best rushing defense. The penalties are a killer though. Again, 8 penalties for 80 yards. They went 3 of 11 on third down. They lost a time of possession battle.
So you think they're pretenders?
I think they're pretenders because the offense is horrible. And once again, I'm gonna keep hating on Trent Brown because I don't see any improvement. He does that stupid drop block thing to try to get the defenders to trip. All you gotta do is hesitate. Trent Brown goes down, just go around him. That's all you gotta do, and that's what teams have been doing. He's a bad offensive lineman for what he's getting paid. The Patriots paid him a pretty nice sum of money.
He was Brady's left tackle when they won a Super Bowl.
And I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
He seemed to have regressed big time. At 6'8", 380 something, you got to be a better blocker than that. You're getting steamrolled every time the ball gets snapped. It's a costly holding call, which he's done several times in the red zone. It's that or a false start on him. As soon as you see a penalty for the Patriots, expect number 77 to be called for something. Because that's what it seems like. You don't hear many numbers outside 77 be called on that.
They definitely have a hard time in the red zone. They haven't scored many touchdowns when they get down there and there's a short field.
They are the 32nd best team in red zone percentage.
That's terrible.
They're
That's the last.
Dead last in red zone percentage.
Well,
their defense is very
good. You could be
good.
right. They need a better offense. They need a real offensive coordinator.
And they just don't. And I guarantee you, Belichick will keep these guys here in the exact same spot next year because he likes he likes his own coaches. He doesn't like to experiment with something new. He just does it. Because I don't know, maybe he doesn't want to.
He likes the defense winning the games. He likes that.
Yeah, I know.
I think he does.
Because you talk about some players have egos. Bill Belichick has a big ego.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. I think Belichick does I guarantee you, he has 2 Super Bowls that he loves and one that he very much despises. The 2 that he likes is beating the greatest show on turf back in 2000, 2001, and then the Rams-Patriots game back in 2018. Then the worst one would probably be the Eagles one.
Yeah.
Where
tons of points.
His defense, thanks to him benching Malcolm Butler, who played 98% of your snaps, was probably your best corner that year. You bench him, they put up 41 points, and Brady's 505 yards couldn't even keep up with that. That was what your defense did. So, I mean, you gotta at least put someone in there who's an offensive mind. You have coaches in there that are defensive minded or don't even touch offense or defense. They're special teams. And special teams guys are the 5th string, 6th string players that you bring up off practice squad to try to move them up. Or players that get demoted into a special teams role. So that's what Mac Jones is working with right now. And I understand. Mac Jones, then they showed it before the game and at halftime. There are some throws where he's not even confident in making. There's an out route, maybe to a Hunter Henry, or there's a throw that he should make, but his mind is like, first of all, the pocket collapses way too quickly for him. And the next thing is,
I think that's part of it, but sometimes he holds the ball too long.
I was going to say, sometimes he holds the ball because he's afraid of making the mistake because he knows his offense is not going to, they can't get that back.
Sometimes I don't think he knows what routes the receivers are running.
It could be that, but then you have 3 people telling you how to work your game. You have Joe Judge inputting, you have Bill Belichick inputting, and you have Matt Patricia running the whole thing. It's just a cause for disaster.
Yeah, well,
so
they tried it this year. We'll see what happens next year.
And it was ugly. It was ugly. Now you got I saw it all over social media. Most of the New England's fans are split or rooting for Bailey Zappi. There's not many Mac Jones supporters out there anymore. Even on the big games, they're still saying we want Zappi in. So I think it's unfair. I think, he's getting a little bit screwed over because the Patriots don't really have a true number 1. Devontae Parker is usually a B+ receiver, but after that, who?
I think Jacoby Myers is a good receiver.
Yeah, but he would be a wide receiver 2 or 3 on most teams. I'm talking about a true number 1, and that's probably Devontae Parker, but he's not even really a great number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a look at this here. They don't have a Type 1 Thornton.
They're throwing the ball a lot to Ramondre Stevenson.
He's hurt now.
Yeah. Well, not badly though.
We'll see if he's in there next week, but I think he leads the team in receptions too.
Yeah.
And that just shows.
I think the Patriots have a lot of good young players.
They do.
They need to gel. They're maybe a year away.
From what? Being respectable?
They need to improve their offensive line. I agree, and their pass rush. What's happened to Judah in the last couple of weeks? You haven't heard his name.
He got a sack and a half last game.
He did okay last night, but in the past couple of games they've controlled him. He hasn't gotten it. And that happened last year. Near the end of the season, the defense wasn't nearly as good. Now, last night it was pretty good, but we'll see going down. These next 4 games mean it all now.
No, they absolutely. This is right now. They got to push for the playoffs. But Matt Judon even said he's not the real rusher of the Patriots. It's the dude we have on the graphic, Josh Uche, at number 55. He got 3 sacks in this game.
He had 3 sacks.
3 sacks. So this defense sparked it. Probably
they have
the
a
best
good
time.
defense. They have a good defense, and they have young players on their defense, so they shouldn't run out of gas. They should have but Jack Jones got hurt last night.
He did.
How badly?
He posted on Twitter earlier today that it wasn't serious, so he should be out there soon.
Well, that's good.
I'm just wondering if, because Belichick for some reason doesn't know how to, work on option defense. Is it the quarterback or running back? Is it a RPO? Is it another sort of run pass play? If Kyler Murray was in there, would the Patriots win this game? I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, the last time they played Kyler Murray, they won.
Yeah, no, that is true.
Yeah, and that's with that was with what's his name? That quarterback.
Kyler Murray.
No, the Kyler Murray, but who was the Patriots quarterback? It was Cam Newton.
Was it Cam Newton?
Yeah, it was Cam Newton.
Interesting. If I'm not mistaken, the Cardinals were favorites in that game.
No, it was Patriots -2.
Was
right?
it?
Yeah.
In this game or
and that other one?
I
think they might have been underdogs in that other game.
I think it was. I think at that time they
won it right at the end.
Yeah, I could bring it. It was last
Cam
year,
Newton
right?
ran for a first down. It made the big difference there.
It was 2 years ago, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yes, 2 years ago, and they won 20-17. Cam Newton was 9 of 18, 84 yards, 2 interceptions. This game was ugly, apparently. Yeah, James White rushing 5 times, 18 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the opening line was Cardinals -1. So, yeah, they were barely favorites. Barely favorites at home. So, I don't know. There's a lot going on right now. The Patriots, they're in ride or die mode right now. It's going to be interesting how they deal with this. Mac Jones, this offense is stagnant. It's ugly. Brady apparently is not very far from home because his offense looks horrible. And that's actually our next topic. We're going to be talking about Tom Brady and the Buccaneers and Brock Purdy. Brady's homecoming game. This is the second time he's played in San Francisco. And it was one of Tom Brady's worst losses, probably of his career.
35-7, right?
It was 35-7.
Only 7 points.
It should have been 14, not that it would have mattered, but once again, Donovan Smith, another hold call, negates a touchdown. It was a 68-yard touchdown on Mike Evans. Got called back because of the most penalized player in the league, Donovan Smith, with another penalty. But it didn't matter. The defense couldn't stop Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, who's now become Mr. Relevant, who just tore up the Bucs defense. Christian McCaffrey had a field day. He had a touchdown or 2? He had a touchdown, 119 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. He also caught 2 passes for 34 yards and had another touchdown. So he had a multi-touchdown day. Brock Purdy, 16 of 21, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brady, 34 of 55. I thought he should have been out of the game by probably, the second half, I think it was 35, it might have been 35-0 going into the second half. Yeah, it was 28-0 going into the second half. I thought Brady would have been done then, but hey, subbing out Jimmy G, it didn't seem much different. So I'm going to ask you, based on this game, could the 49ers go deep into the playoffs with Brock Purdy as their quarterback 1?
I don't know. Deebo Samuel's got hurt in that game.
He did?
Right? And he's out for a while. If he comes back...
We're missing 3 weeks.
3 weeks. So he'll be back the last game of the season and then going into the playoffs. I think he's a key player. If Brock Purdy is going to be the playoff quarterback, then I think they better have everybody else very healthy because they can't expect much more out of him than being a game manager, right? So they've got to have the other players step up and be on the top of their game. So I think if you have those guys in there, I think it's possible they go deep because the defense is very good.
Yeah. They do have the number 1 ranked defense in the league, and you saw it. Brady was uncomfortable. Receivers were not open. Pocket was collapsing. Brady missed a horrible throw to Mike Evans. It was a back shoulder. Mike Evans was frustrated. And this is what I'm talking about here. This is what I mentioned in the prior topic. Todd Bowles does not bring, the same offensive firepower that Bruce Arians does, or I think the creativity, but maybe it's not all his fault, because there was a report by Mike Silver for the San Francisco Chronicle, and we'll bring it up here. There's a quote that reads, the level of responsibility that Brady imposes upon himself has always been massive, and this year, he's taxed to the max. One example, on the night before each game, Brady runs a separate meeting with the Bucs skill players during which he goes over the game plan, makes tweaks to assignments and formations, and provides a revised blueprint, one which first-year head coach Todd Bowles, offense coordinator Byron Leftwich, and the rest of the staff are left to discover in real time once the game begins. This is interesting, and I think this is... I saw this on a lot of sports media today. They're saying that this is a Greg Jennings, Super Bowl winning wide receiver, said that this was a non-story. I definitely would not call it a non-story. I think this is pretty significant, because I think it shows where Brady's trust is in his own coaches and maybe in his own team. Because if he thinks Brady for 20 years was grilled by Bill Belichick, not in public, in the locker room, in meetings. Chad Ochocinco always said, he has this very, very famous story. I think it was the only year he was there. One of the first meetings, Bill Belichick goes up, grills Brady in last year's film. First meeting, grills Brady in front of the entire team. But I guess it was the first meeting from last year's, I think it was the Super Bowl last year, grilling him. He was shocked. Because we're talking about Tom Brady here. Multiple Super Bowl winning quarterback, multiple MVP, multiple Super Bowl MVP winning Tom Brady. He's getting grilled in front of everybody. And Brady took it. So Brady, and with Bruce Arians, there was a little bit of a rift there. And Brady put up for it for 20 years, comes there, and it's a more relaxed setting because Belichick has this Patriot way where you believe in the system and your individuality kind of gets subdued a little bit. Brady comes to Florida, comes to Tampa. It's a nice and chill place. He's active on social media, promoting TB12, promoting the Brady brand. He's got his crypto system in there. And it's sort of relaxed. And then the coaching was a little bit more relaxed. And then Bruce Arians would come out, criticize Tom Brady. You missed that throw. That was on Tom. Oh, that interception. He didn't read the route properly. Bad play by Tom Brady. And then that 2020 season after the bye, where Brady was actually allowed to implement some of the aspects of his own offense that he knew really well, the motion, the play action. They won 8 straight, won the Super Bowl. Next year, same thing with Bruce Arians. 5,300 yards, 42 touchdowns, 43 touchdowns. Bad defense, blown coverage. They lose against the Rams in the divisional game. So Todd Bowles comes in. Todd Bowles is a much more chill personality. He's not a fired up guy.
Too laid back.
He's very laid back.
Coach.
The one aspect that I love about Todd Bowles is that he kept his defense top 3 in rushing defense every year, but this year. The defense is inconsistent. The offense is stagnant. It's horrible in the red zone. Brady has become what Tim Tebow was. Bad at 55 minutes, and the last 5 minutes was generally heroic. That's what Brady is right now. And I think it's sad. Todd Bowles is a better coordinator because I think they're missing Bruce Arians right now. This is not a shot at Todd Bowles' ability to coach. Because like I said, I love his defensive coaching. It's just the offense, and then Brady coming in, trying to keep guys up to speed with what he wants. That's not exactly the greatest thing, and it kind of puts Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles in a weird situation.
Yeah.
If Brady's making adjustments here, adjustments there, and it's falling, and the offense is not there.
Who the Bucs have left on this schedule?
The Bucs are playing. I think they're going up to Cincinnati right now. They're home against Cincinnati, then at Cardinals, home against Panthers, at Falcons.
They should win their last 3 games then.
They should.
They should win them.
The Bengals
they're
game,
probably
going to
lose the band. They're going to
get blown out again. They're going to get blown out.
That'll make them 6-8, right?
6-8.
And then they'll win 3. They'll be 9-8.
9-8, and that should be good enough to win because if they lose against,
they're still a game ahead in their division, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they lose 2 games, if they lose the first 2 games, Bengals Cardinals just by chance. Panthers and Falcons is a must win. Any one of those, you're out. You're done.
Who would you have winning the division then? The Falcons?
The Falcons would be in position to win that division.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think either.
The Falcons will probably lose their last 4 games. So, that division is terrible.
By the way this is going, it looks like
Nobody in that division has a winning record.
Nobody. It's looking like it's going to be a rematch of Week 1.
Yeah.
Which would be Bucks Cowboys at Bucks. And the Bucks may put up 3 points in that game.
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys defense is on a different level right now. And I don't know if this is 100% true, but I'm getting that feeling. The Bucks this late in the season don't have an identity. They're trying to find their identity. Because you see it. Their offense is so predictable. First down, they're going to run the ball. Second down, they may try to run the ball again. Third down, 100% pass play. That's their offense. There's no creativity to it. Every single first down, it seems like it's a run. You open the game, they try to get the running game going. When that ultimately fails, because it has all year, they're dead last in running. They try to say, Tom Brady, throw the ball 50 times. Win us the game. And he just can't. And you know what? That's completely fine. I'm going to bring the list up right now of all of Brady's receivers that he's thrown to. And this thing about Brady, an indictment of how Brady needs all this help. He's 45 years old. Peyton Manning got benched for Brock Osweiler in his Super Bowl. He threw 9 touchdowns, 17 interceptions in his last year. And you know what? It's not an indictment. He went out and won the Super Bowl thanks to an unreal defense, an unreal performance from Von Miller. Let's see. And I just want to make this clear. The Patriots did not have great receivers every single year. It's just the fact that Brady was so good at making them look amazing that they seemed really good.
Yeah.
Randy Moss and Gronk were the 2 greatest Patriots receivers in the history of the Patriots, probably. At least very much up there. Brady has not had a Randy Moss level receiver since 2010, when Randy Moss was there for the first couple weeks and then got traded to some team. I can't remember off the top of my head. He went back to the Vikings?
Yeah.
So, and then he ended up San Francisco, lost the Super Bowl against the Ravens. That was his final year.
He wasn't much of a factor on the 49ers. They didn't throw to him much.
Yeah. Daniel Graham is up there as a top 10 receiver for touchdowns. Daniel Graham, who? Benjamin Watson, we know Ben Watson. David Patton, not really well-known name. Troy Brown, Patriots fans only know him. David Gibbons, Christian Faria. Chris Hogan was a deep ball guy. Danny Amendola only caught 10. Kevin Falk, a running back. Mike Vrabel caught more touchdowns than Brandon Cooks, Brandon LaFell, and Philip Dorsett.
How about Julian Edelman?
Julian Edelman is third on this list with 36. Shane Vereen, not well known. Martellus Bennett and son. Jabbar Gaffney, not a well known name.
But they threw a lot to the backs. James White.
No, James White is 5th on this list, tied with Deion Branch. These are
Deion Branch was a good receiver.
I like Deion Branch a lot. Any of these names outside of New England that you hear, Retchie Caldwell, Scott Chandler, Aaron Dobson, Bethel Johnson, Brandon Lloyd in some teams. Malcolm Mitchell played there 1 year. Dante Stallworth, Kembrell Tompkins has that one famous play. One famous play against the Saints. It was the game-winning touchdown against the Saints, 2013. I forgot what week it was. He had that beautiful high point ball, beautiful throw by Brady. Doug Gabriel, Chad Jackson, Antoine Smith, Jermaine Wiggins, N'Keal Harry. He was just bad for the Patriots. Kyle Brady, Chris Breaker. These guys are not great guys. These are multiple touchdown catching guys.
Aaron Hernandez.
Well, those guys are up there. I'm talking about guys who aren't like in the NFL. Like some of I understand. Aaron Hernandez was there for 4 years before he got like excommunicated for the NFL, which is respectable because of what he did. It was a tragedy. But outside, do you think Julian Edelman would have been a great receiver on any other team?
Maybe not.
I don't. Look at Danny Amendola. Very clutch in the playoffs.
He was good on other teams. It was good.
He was an average 500-yard receiver.
Yeah, well.
He never hit 1,000 yards in his career. Never. Aaron Hernandez was a great tight end. But he was more of a halfback tight end blend, which I actually love. Daniel Graham, 17 touchdowns. Don't know who the hell he is.
Ben Watson.
Ben Watson was a great tight end for the Patriots. He wouldn't be good on other teams. I don't think he was very good on other teams. Brady did not have all these amazing receivers constantly.
Well, I think he's playing again next year. I don't think he wants to go out this
He's
way.
retiring.
He's not going to retire, and guess who he's going to be playing for?
You're going to say the 49ers.
I am.
Really? I thought you were going to say the Patriots.
Well, I'm hoping he goes back to the Patriots, and I think that the Kraft will make a play for him.
But why would he be interested in going back?
Well, he might not be, but I think they'll make a play for him. They'll try to get him to come back.
It will not be publicized. It would be.
Oh, well, maybe not. But I do think they'll try to get him. But I think Kraft will talk to him.
It would be Kraft sending a text or calling him saying, I want you back here. Would you come back? Brady would be like, yeah, your receivers are who? I could have Mike Evans. I could have Chris Godwin. I could have Julio Jones. Or I could have Devontae Adams. Or I could have Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. And you have two decently good tight ends. And who? That would be Brady's response. And who? So, but Brock Purdy and the 49ers, let's get into the 49ers part of this. That defense is good enough to carry them over, let's say, defense
wins championships.
They are currently in the 3 seed, so they would play the Commanders. The Commanders are currently in the playoffs, above the Giants. They are the 6th. Commanders are the 6th seed. So it would be
the Giants are the 7th seed?
Yeah. So Vikings, Giants, 49ers, Commanders, Bucks, Cowboys. The 49ers defense could very much overpower Taylor Heineke, and I think they'd be good enough to win that game. Then it's the question of, can the 49ers win another playoff game? And I think if Brock Purdy, because the crazy part about it, and I think this actually might be an indictment of Jimmy G, is this offense looked the same, if not better, with Brock Purdy than it did with Jimmy G. Usually when you go from a starting quarterback to a backup, plays change. You take plays out. You might implement certain different plays, like what the Patriots did, even for Mac Jones. Bailey Zappe's offense looked a lot like Mac Jones' rookie season offense than Mac Jones' current offense. And it worked. Mac Jones is not running that offense right now. The 49ers are running basically the same offense as Jimmy G. So I think that's more of an indictment on Jimmy G and how good he could actually truly be. Because Brock Purdy is a little bit more athletic. They are relatively the same, and Kyle Shanahan's offense is not based on how well you throw, or like how deep you can throw the ball. It's, can you get it to the guy who's open when you need to?
Yeah.
And most part, Jimmy G has done that. Brock Purdy comes in and did that, maybe a little bit better. So
where did Brock Purdy play his college football?
I'll bring that up right now. Brock Purdy. I don't have it in front of me right now. He played Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Yeah.
So that's no big top football
He
program.
played all 4 years. His best season was 3,982 yards, 27 touchdowns, 9 picks. That was his sophomore year. He only had one other season where he had over 3,000 yards. Didn't have another season with 20 touchdowns, though. He was drafted dead last, so do you think 49ers defense could win a playoff game, or if not 2, with Brock Purdy
I do.
as their QB1?
I think so. Yeah.
This is going to be very interesting to see how they move forward.
Jimmy G, to an extent, they didn't count on him to throw the big Hail Marys all the time.
They didn't.
They usually a short passing game and a lot of running. So Brock Purdy can do that for sure.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, if they get behind in a game in the playoffs, and that could be a problem, because then they'd be relying on him to throw some deeper passes and do some more stuff which he may not be capable of. We don't know yet.
Do you think that defense can allow that? I think
they can't. They have to keep the other team. They have to lead in the games. They can't get behind. If they get behind, that's going to be a problem.
Well, do you think any playoff team right now? Let's just go through it. Any playoff team. Let's say, I know the bracket doesn't line up, but let's just go through the playoff teams. Any one of these teams, do you think can do that? Can the Eagles, you think, can run up the score against that defense?
No, I don't think so.
So that could be maybe a potential game. Vikings, do you think they could run up the score?
Nope.
Bucks, definitely. You just saw it. They got steamrolled. Cowboys.
Maybe.
Commanders and Giants.
No.
So really, the Cowboys is the only team that you're saying has a shot at making this a potential upset, I would say. which that's interesting. That is very, very interesting.
I think the 49ers have a very good chance of going to the Super Bowl this year. It's not as good as it was before Jimmy G got hurt, but Jimmy G could wind up coming back. Right,
but if Brock Purdy plays good enough, well enough,
they have the number one defense in the league.
But I'm saying if Brock Purdy plays well enough,
they won't put Jimmy G back in.
That's what I'm saying, and I think that's true.
They'll have him on the sideline, and if Brock Purdy stumbles in the playoffs, then they'll put Jimmy G in. So we'll see.
Maybe. I'm not too sure. How about we visit the association? We're talking about tonight's game.
It also depends on how Purdy plays the rest of the season.
No,
if he flubs up, then they'll be looking for Jimmy G to come back.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, so tonight we got some basketball going on.
Yeah.
Celtics and Lakers are playing tonight. Celtics, the number one team in the East, and the Lakers are rising talents right now with AD's 80 put up 50 here, 15 rebounds there. He's injured, though, as he generally does, get hurt throughout the year. They are currently the 12th seed right now, still out of playoff contention, the Lakers are, but they've been on the up and coming. The Celtics, however, have lost 2 straight to the Warriors, where they got desiccated pretty much.
Yeah.
And against the Clippers, where that was a surprising loss, lost by 20.
Clippers have good players.
They do, and it helps that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are both healthy in this game, which they haven't been most of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, Lakers, Celtics, who takes the win here?
I think the Celtics win.
Really? You think the Celtics get the win? Why? I'm curious why you think that.
Because they need a win. They lost the last 2. Right?
So just because they need
you know what? I'm just starting to see something with them. They aren't playing as good a defense as they need to play. Not like they played last year.
Right.
Although early in the season they didn't play good defense last year, but
it was the All-Star.
Their coach, Udoka, he got them playing defense. He said every possession we need to play great defense.
Right.
I think they need to reinforce that now because they haven't been playing the greatest defense, and they need to be more aggressive on the boards. They're getting out-rebounded in every game.
Yeah.
And that's an issue. And if they don't shoot the great three-point percentage, which they didn't in the last 2 games, and they're not more aggressive on the boards, and they don't play great defense, they're going to get beat. They're going to get beat, and that's what's happened the last 2 games.
I want to say, first of all, I'm going to give
gave up 123 points to the Warriors.
Yeah.
113 to the Clippers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're supposed to be a good defensive team. Those are bad numbers.
Yeah. I'm going to give a lot of props to Mazzulla, though. He got this team to 21-7. He coached this team to 21. He's a first-time head coach.
Yeah.
And he's doing really well for
not how you start, it's how you finish.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what Udoka was apparently great at. You know, they were one point early in the season in the trenches. And then the All-Star break, they turned into the greatest defense last year, or I guess the number 1 defense last year. Came in, rode that wave all the way until the finals, where the Warriors were just more experienced, a faster offense than the Celtics could keep up with, and that actually showed in this game. And not only that, Jason Tatum, I wouldn't put him at elite status quite yet because of consistency.
He doesn't play well against the Warriors.
Well,
right?
Jason Tatum has this problem with consistency.
No, he did score 32 points. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He only had 18 points
18 against the Warriors.
Game. Yeah.
He shot 22% from 3, 28% from the floor.
Yeah, he doesn't play well against them.
And in the Clippers game, he didn't shoot really much better. 35% from the field, 25% from 3, had 20 points.
Yeah. You know what? How many games have they had on the West Coast trip now? They played Arizona, right? I mean, Arizona, the Suns.
They
beat the Suns. They wiped them out, right?
They crushed it.
And the game before that, who'd they play?
Toronto Raptors.
Okay, so that was so they were on. They win that game too.
Yeah, they won 116.
So this is their, maybe they're tired. It could be a
this
little bit.
This is their last road game after a 6-game stretch.
They need to win this game.
After this game, they go on a 7-game home stretch before they go on a 4-game road stretch. So a 6-game road stretch, the 7-game home stretch. It's something. And they actually just came off a 6-game home stretch. So they've had very long periods being at home, being away, being at home. And you know what? I'm going to pick the Lakers here. I'm gonna pick the Lakers here. The Celtics still don't have Robert Williams.
They don't have Brown is not playing for the. I'm not Brown, but who's the center for the Lakers? Anthony. Who's the Lakers center? Davis.
Anthony Davis. Yeah,
he's not playing.
He's hurt.
Yeah, well, that's tough for the Lakers.
Oh, it is. And Anthony Davis was having a phenomenal year recently. He's been winning a lot of games for them. LeBron's dealing with an injury. He's probable for tonight's game. And actually, so is Davis. Injury report came out today. Davis is probable, so Davis might be back.
Yeah.
If Anthony Davis is back, I feel stronger about my pick of the Lakers. The Celtics are favored in today's game, but I'm gonna take Russell Westbrook. I'm gonna take Anthony Davis. I'm gonna take LeBron James. Not many times I pick LeBron James, but I'm gonna pick him at home against the Celtics. I think the Celtics are on a weird stretch here.
Yeah.
I think right now Malcolm Brogdon, he's generally good at distributing the ball, but he's not a 25-a-night guy. And I think that's what the Celtics are looking for when they get down and out, when Jason Tatum's not shooting well, when Jaylen Brown's having an off game. Jaylen Brown, in the last game against the Clippers, shot 16.7% from three, 1 of 6. Not great. And the turnovers isn't really the problem. That's the thing that Jason Tatum had a huge, but he had triple-digit turnovers. First of all, it's horrible. It's the first time, I think, in playoff history that a player had triple-digit turnovers, which that's absurd. But Celtics need to get on a roll here, and I just think the way they're slipping, I think they're going to slip up one more time on the road. They're tired on the road. I'm going to give it to the Lakers.
Yeah, well, this is their last game on the road, right?
For 7 games.
They're going to be wanting to go home. I don't know. They might not. You might be right. We'll see, but I'm picking the Celtics.
They got Blake Griffin in there playing 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin's like
he scored 13
guy.
Points.
No, he was interesting to see, but he's not a 20-minute guy. He's become more of a
he's a
8-minute guy.
Yeah.
Maxing out at 10, but he was a starter the last game against the Clippers. He was a starter, and then of course the reserves for the Celtics didn't really pick up the pace. I'm surprised though. They had Malcolm Brogdon as a reserve in this game, played 31 minutes. They had Derek White as a starter. That blows my mind how they started Derek White.
He didn't score any points, White.
He made 1 3 against the Clippers. So I don't know. A lot of question marks for the Celtics moving forward, and we're gonna have to keep a close eye on them because they were the best team in the NBA, and right now I don't know. There seems to be a lot of chinks in their armor, a lot of cracks, but we'll wait and see. I'm picking Lakers. You got Celtics. All right, coming up. Will Brady return for his 24th season next year after retiring earlier in February? We recap our biggest winners and losers, and we also discuss NBA trophy changes. All that and more right after this.
Introducing video podcasts on Spotify.
Transform your storytelling into a show everyone can watch
or listen to.
Easily upload your video through Anchor, Spotify's free podcast creation tool.
So whether you're showing off a new recipe,
interviewing an exclusive guest,
or uncovering the next mystery,
you can now reach a whole new audience with Spotify.
Podcasting just became more than audio.
Create with Anchor, watch on Spotify.
You have a lot to say. Maybe you've thought, I should start a podcast. Meet Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast ever. It's a powerful mobile app and web tool that lets you record a podcast anywhere and distribute it everywhere. It's great whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out. And it's 100% free. You can record your show straight into Anchor on your phone, iPad, or the web, using any mic you want. Record alone or with friends or co-hosts anywhere in the world. You can add background music and transitions, and your listeners can send you voice messages that you can incorporate right into your next episode. If you want to produce your show using another app, you can upload your own audio directly from web or mobile, and still take advantage of Anchor's totally free podcast hosting. Once your podcast is ready to publish, Anchor can automatically distribute it to every major podcast platform. That includes Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, so your listeners can hear your show wherever they want. And on the web, you can see detailed analytics about how people are listening. Plus, you'll get a great-looking profile page where anyone can listen to your podcast or subscribe to it. And if you want to ask your audience to support your work, Anchor makes it easy to collect monthly payments from the people who love your podcast and want to see it grow. You really don't need a recording studio, expensive equipment, or a bunch of technical knowledge to deal with a podcast feed. Just get started and join the diverse community of podcasters already on Anchor. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
Welcome back to the Harvey Hour. My name is Nathan Harvey, and that's my dad, Stephen Harvey. Let's break it down right now. We're talking about the NBA awards, or actually no, we're talking about Brady's future. Actually, I have it wrong on my sheet here, but let's get into it. So, there's a report coming out that Brady has opened up his mind to potentially staying in the NBA, we just talk about the NBA, in the NFL, staying, not retiring as he did previously, and it looked like a lot of people thinking this is his last season here. He's on the last year of his contract with the Buccaneers, so he will be a free agent going into next year unless he re-signs with the Bucs. So, I'm going to ask you, do you think Brady will stay for 1-2 years, stay in the NFL, continue his career, or do you think he's going to retire at the end of this year?
I think he'll stay.
Why? Why
He likes playing football, and I just think he doesn't want to go out this way. He wants to go out on top again, and this is probably not going to happen this year because the team isn't that good. So I think he's going to try again, and I do think he has a really good shot at being the 49ers quarterback next year.
I don't see it. I don't see the 49ers quarterback whatsoever because I'm thinking about it.
You think Brock Purdy's going to beat him out?
I think no. This team was Trey Lance's team from the start. As soon as Jimmy G was, as soon as they said Jimmy G, yeah, sorry, you're not a starter anymore. This is Trey Lance's team.
Well,
this
I
is
don't know.
Trey
We'll
Lance's
see.
team.
He's coming back off a bad injury.
He is. No, he is. But this was always Trey Lance's team when he got drafted because they moved, the earth and the wind and the fire, everything.
Where do you think Garoppolo will wind up then?
Garoppolo's a free agent. I think Garoppolo honestly will get traded. Actually, no, because this is last year anyway. He'll get dropped. I mentioned it, I believe last week or maybe the week before. How really a lot of NFL teams would benefit. With Jimmy G as their quarterback. The Giants would be one. Even the Patriots, I think, would be better with Jimmy G. The Jets would be better. Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Actually, no. Cleveland has Deshaun Watson. Scrap that. Pittsburgh. Tennessee would be better. Colts. Houston, obviously. Denver. I would pick Jimmy G over Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah.
Even though against the Chiefs, he played really, really well. Rams, I put him over Matt Stafford right now. Cardinals, that's a question mark. How much do I value if Kyler Murray decides to run the football and still be scared to get hit over Jimmy G's just accuracy, I guess. Seattle, him and Geno Smith, that was always a question mark for me. Saints, yes. Atlanta, yes. Carolina, yes. Tampa, no. I'd still pick Brady over him. Chicago, Justin Fields, he's come alive this year, mid to late this year. But there's still
quite a few opportunities for Jimmy G.
Yeah, so I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, there's Jimmy G. That's gonna be something. But I don't think Brady's gonna stay. I always believe this was Brady's last year when he came back from retirement. I still think so because Brady always said A, he would play till he's 45, and B, he'll keep playing until basically he can't lead a championship team anymore. And right now, it looks like he can't lead a championship team anymore. And I saw it against the 49ers. He does not have the same distance as he once does. I don't know if Scotty Miller and Julio Jones just outran Brady's original, in his prime distance, but I saw Brady sling 65-yard touchdowns to Troy Brown, Deion Branch, and everyone there in his prime. He's missing like 40-yard passes now, underthrowing them. And I'm not saying Brady's washed yet because I think there's a lot more context going on.
He's not having that bad a year, yardage-wise, right?
His yards per attempt is bottom
the ball
5
a lot because they don't have any running game, right? The fact they don't have any running game is hurting his game quite a bit, I think.
No, absolutely it is because that was Brady's thing is the the play action. Now that's what Brady lived off of, was the play action. He was a phenomenal play action quarterback. But now he just can't do it. He can't do it anymore. So you think Brady's going to stay?
I do.
You think he'll go to San Francisco?
49ers. Yeah.
I think if Brady does stay, I think he'll be very interested in the Raiders. A great running game, a growing defense. Devontae Adams.
Could be.
Devontae Adams would be the best receiver he's had since Randy Moss.
Yeah. And have Josh McDaniels as the head
Josh
coach.
Yeah. So I think
that's a possibility too. I'd say it's a toss-up between those two teams.
Plus Las Vegas.
I'd love to have him
brand.
back at the Patriots.
Ain't gonna happen. But Las Vegas, grow his brand, several brands, big market, great receiver. O-line has some question marks.
You know what? You're right. They probably have the lead over the 49ers being him picking them.
Yeah, so I'm still saying no, though. He says keeping his options open. I think the only reason why his options are open, I think this just needs to be said, he's divorced. And now that was truthfully...
Yeah, he'd probably have a lot of fun in Vegas.
Giselle's been telling him to retire for the past 5-6 years. He hasn't. And then Giselle can take it anymore. I could understand it. Just left. And Brady now doesn't have that on him. So I think that's the only reason why he's saying that. Otherwise, he would 100%. He probably would have already been retired. He would still have been retired. And they would need to deal with like Kyle Trask or someone as their quarterback. Let's go back to the association because there was there was an article. Actually, no, there was just an award given out as well as an article released by NBA.com talking about the changes and the new additions for NBA trophies here. We already had a couple changes and additions to it. With the All-Star MVP was given to Kobe Bryant, named in Kobe Bryant. The Finals MVP was for Bill Russell. Coach of the Year was Red Auerbach. We also had the Conference Finals MVPs, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson for their heroics in the conference finals most of the years they played. And then you also had others like the Social Justice Award, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, along with the Sportsmanship Award and Teammate of the Year Award also as well. But they introduced some new ones. They introduced some new names. First of all, the MVP trophy is now for Michael Jordan, which is interesting. It looks like, and there was an article talking about, it seems like the GOAT debate is coming to a close here if Michael Jordan is being named as the MVP award, but I think it's unfair to give an award to a dude that's already playing. So it's hard to give to LeBron because he's already playing. He's still playing in the
league. They can't do that.
Right. But it's interesting they gave it to him. But Defensive Player of the Year, Hakeem Olajuwon. Rookie of the Year, Wilt Chamberlain.
I'm not surprised. I mean, Michael Jordan was the best player ever. So
it's still a debate though between him and LeBron.
MVP award, the Michael Jordan Trophy, I think is appropriate.
I'd probably agree with you, but Defensive Player of the Year award is named for Olajuwon. Rookie of the Year was Wilt Chamberlain after averaging 37 and 27 in his rookie year, which is crazy. Sixth Man of the Year, John Havlicek. Most Improved Player, George Mikan, and Clutch Players, Jerry West.
Yeah. I don't disagree with those. I think they're decent representative. Are they there forever, or is that something that might change? Are they going to rotate
I don't know. I mean,
pick a different one?
I'm going to assume they're going to stay because the Bill Russell one has stood for as long as I can remember it being called the Bill Russell Finals MVP Award. I'm not sure when that actually changed. Kobe Bryant, that's a new one in honor of him after he passed.
Which one did he get?
All-Star Game MVP. Even though the All-Star Game has kind of been, be smudged because they're put up 200 points a game now.
Yeah.
A lot of these All-Star games actually used to be really competitive. Yeah. Now the NFL is going to
have
football.
it in NFL1.
Yeah,
NFL one.
They're having the Pro Bowl games and stuff like that, and the final day is going to be a flag football competition. But the All-Star game used to be competitive, and now it's who could shoot, who could put up a nice show. I mean, it's entertainment. It's not really a game anymore. But I actually like this a lot. Putting names to awards now and representative of how great they are. I don't really disagree with any of these.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's very interesting how they're giving the Larry O'Brien one. I never fully understood.
How about Dennis Rodman for Defensive Player of the Year?
He was a great defensive player. He just wasn't a great all-around player. Olajuwon was a very, very good player.
He didn't want to be a great all-around player. He wanted to rebound and play great defense.
He was a phenomenal rebounder. Rebounder. He didn't score. He had several games with no points.
I know.
I think he had a game was like no points, but like 20 rebounds or something like that. It was crazy. But interesting. I like this change. I don't know. You bring the new fans of the NBA. You put some history to that. You say the Hakeem Olajuwon Defensive Player of the Year award goes to, and then people might say, who's Hakeem Olajuwon? And then they go into that and they research and stuff. I like
these
it.
players are all alive except for Chamberlain and Mike and
Jerry West is still living.
Jerry West is alive, yeah.
So what? It's only Chamberlain and Mikan?
Yeah.
So
it's kind of nice.
Yeah. I like it. I like the changes a lot. It's, I don't know. I just find it cool. It's neat. It's neat to have all the, but the question is obviously I think Wilt was one of the best rookies. Like I said, 37 and 27. That'll never be done again. Never. Defensive Player of the Year, Hakeem Olajuwon. I don't know. Some people might disagree with you there. Yeah, because you had players like, I don't know, Shaq was pretty good defensively. A lot of rebounds. But I don't think he's Defensive Player of the Year, maybe. Sixth Man of the Year, Havlicek. You would know more about Havlicek than I would.
Yeah, he was a great player.
Mikan.
He ran up and down the court every possession. The Celtics offense was a fast break offense back then.
Right.
The guy, he could run anybody into the ground. He was like a motor. He just didn't stop. It was really something. Very much. He was a Iron Man.
Clutch player Jerry West. We were saying in the break how you didn't think Jerry West was a clutch player.
No, I didn't say he wasn't a clutch player. I'm saying
the name for the award.
The name of the award. I'm not sure about the clutch player.
But I don't think there's many people like you would give it to.
I mean, Jerry West was in a lot of championship series, and they didn't win many. I think he only won one NBA championship. He was usually playing the Celtics, and they lost.
Yeah.
So how does he get to be the clutch player award?
He's still the face of the league, though. He's still the logo.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see. How many championships has he won? He won one championship. 1972.
Yeah. Wilt was on that team, I think.
Let's see. 1972 championship. If I could click on it properly. Wilt Chamberlain was on that team.
Yeah.
Elgin Baylor. Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Pat Riley was on that team. I mean, looking at that team is pretty good. I guess there's a reason why they won. But yeah, I mean, clutch player. If it's not Jerry West, who would you give it to? Because I think Michael Jordan might have been a good one.
I would think so. Yeah,
but he's already MVP.
Okay, well,
I think one that could change. LeBron retires, you have to put him in clutch, or you move Michael Jordan down to clutch, put LeBron in MVP.
Maybe.
What about that?
Maybe. I do think that one, I think that Michael Jordan's more clutch than Jerry West. Maybe they figured, well, he's
already MVP
trophy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyway.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure these are going to be solidified in years to come, but I think if there was one to change, it would send the internet into, it would explode the internet, but the one thing that would change would probably be LeBron MVP, and then have Michael Jordan as the clutch player.
Yeah.
Because Jerry West right now has two great attributes. He's the face of the league still. He's the logo.
I think the MVP of the finals, though, LeBron's won 3 finals. He's lost a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
How many finals has LeBron lost? That would be the argument against him having the MVP one.
Well, I'm not talking about finals MVP. I'm talking about league MVP.
League MVP.
Because Michael Jordan's the league MVP. Bill Russell's still finals MVP. He's a 4-time champ.
It's the finals MVP one.
Finals MVP is Bill Russell.
Okay.
Which, that makes sense. He's won 11 titles. He won, 10 of 11?
Then I would say, Bill Russell could be the defensive player of the year, too. He was fantastic.
He was
fantastic.
But Olajuwon, though. Olajuwon in that era was...
Yeah, he was good.
Very, very dominant. Very, very dominant. All right, I think it's time for our Week 14 recap. Our biggest winners and losers, because this was crazy. Week 14 was certainly interesting, and let's get into it now. That's not quite right. There it is. There you go. Your picks. Who would you say? Just give me some of your biggest winners that you picked and some of your biggest losers.
Well, let's see here. I guess my biggest loser was the Bucks in San Francisco, right?
I would
35-7. I thought I picked the Bucks, so that was definitely wrong. My biggest winner, I'd have to say, was the Patriots over the Cardinals.
That's your biggest winner.
Yeah, I like that one because that put the Patriots back in the playoff hunt.
Interesting. Very interesting.
How's my win-loss? It's getting better now, right? 104-88 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about me though? I'm
I'd like to
curious
get
see.
500 on the spread.
You're very close. Very close. All right, let's go to mine. My biggest winner, I'm giving it to Broncos +9. The Broncos only got blown out in 2 games, and it looked like it would be a blowout, but then Russell Wilson led him back, and then he got concussed. He had a huge hit, got concussed. Brett Ripien came in there, couldn't seal the deal, try to get the win. They had a chance to win the game. They couldn't pull away. That's probably my biggest winner. My biggest loser, I'm giving it to the Vikings and Lions. The Lions just completely outplayed the Vikings. That offense hey, the Lions may make the playoffs. The Lions have a serious shot at making the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
which
they're on a roll right now.
that to me, hearing the Lions in the playoffs, that doesn't quite sit right with me because the Lions, for most of their history, it's been since Barry Sanders, they've been truly respectable. Even with Calvin Johnson, they still had a lot of holes to fill, and then they just didn't. The last time they were probably consistently good was with Barry Sanders, and they still didn't really win much. I was looking at Barry Sanders' stats. I take a look at Barry Sanders' stats every once in a while. He played 9 years and put up a tremendous amount of rushing yards.
He could have played a lot longer,
and he just didn't. So
you got a nice record there, 9-3.
I'm 123 and 69.
Yeah,
and 2. So that's honestly. It got very close. Jets +10 was a crazy game. Mike White.
I can't believe the Seahawks lost to the Panthers.
I'm not. I'm really
what
not.
What was Darnold's? What were his stats in that game?
I think it was a pretty efficient stat line. Truthfully,
I bet they let him throw the ball at all.
Yeah, no, they did. Darnold was 14-24, 120, 1 touchdown. Two running backs each ran for 74 yards. Dante Foreman and Chuba Hubbard each ran for 74
They
yards.
must have a pretty good defense, Carolina.
I'm telling you, the reports coming out that Steve Wilkes, or the Carolina Panthers are pushing for Steve Wilkes to get that job next year. And supposedly, he may get consideration for the job.
Yeah.
May.
Who is he again? Steve Wells?
He's the head coach of the Panthers, was the head coach of the Cardinals with Josh Rosen. I believe he drafted Josh Rosen. He went 13-3 with that team. The defenses look much better. But Geno Smith, it was left up to him because they were dealing without some of their top running backs. Kenneth Walker was hurt. DJ Dallas couldn't go. It was all up to Geno. Geno, 21-36, 264, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Not a great game. Not a great game. You still can't rely on Geno Smith. But when he has a little bit of help.
He's kind of run out of gas maybe a little bit here. It's getting long.
Without a running game, you got to put a lot of pressure on Geno. And
Go back to my fix there for
Sure.
a second. So I won, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4,
I believe you
5,
won
6.
Yeah. So
6
what?
out of 9.
Yeah. Actually, well, no. Oh, well, 13 games.
Oh, was
this week.
there?
Yeah, 13 games.
So I was 6 and I had a losing record, 6-7.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, you're slipping a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually got the win-loss wrong. I needed to go back and alter things a little bit. That's why you have, I think, an extra tie there somewhere. I miscalculated something, so I had to it took me about half an hour to do this. But I don't know. The Texans +17.5. I thought would be a questionable pick, and then I saw that Dak Prescott had to go 98 yards to come back and beat the Texans. That is pitiful. Despicable.
I got that one right.
Yeah, somehow. You still picked Bills +10 though. That was risky because the Bills already lost to the Jets. But we each picked the Browns and Bengals -5.5. Joe Burrow finally beat the Browns.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson played an okay game. Not great. Still got a lot of rust on him. The Steelers, Mitch Trubisky looks horrible. He could not beat Anthony Brown.
Well, the only reason he was in there is Pickett got concussed.
Yeah, Pickett got hurt. But even when he was in there, he looked horrible. I mean, they could stop Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown, 3 of 5, 16 yards. So, I don't know. Steelers are huge. I would have been 5-0 if the Steelers could just perform a little bit better. So, I went 4-1 this week at my Harvey Hot hand. That I don't have the record in front of me, but I think I'm like 30-something and high 30s to low 30s win-loss ratio. So
How about your picks, your Harvey hot hand picks?
that's what I just said. Yeah, 4-1.
But you usually show them. You're not going to show them.
Oh, like go through them. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go through them. Yeah. Let's bring that up. If I have it here, do I have it here? Here we go. That I got right.
Yeah.
That I got right.
Yeah.
That's the only one I got wrong.
Uh-huh.
So it was Broncos +9 I got right. Eagles -7 I got right. I lost Steelers -2.
You might have gotten it right, Steelers one, if Pickett hadn't gotten hurt.
Maybe. I got 49ers -3.5 right, and Bengals -5.5 right. So my Harvey hot hand is consistent. The 2 NFL seasons that I've done this, it has been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
But
Good job.
I think I don't have a topic for this, so I apologize for the live YouTube watchers here. But radio people and I guess anchor people, you're lucky. Let's talk about Thursday Night Football. We make our picks on Tuesday. The opening spread, it's San Francisco versus Seattle. Seattle's at home. San Francisco -3.5 favorites on the road. Who are you picking? Who takes the win? Who
San
covers?
Francisco.
All the way?
Yes.
Even -3. I'm going to agree with you there. San Fran's defense is too good.
Yeah.
Too good. I think Brock Purdy pulls out another win.
Poor Gino might be coming back to earth a little bit.
I think so. But I Seahawks, I don't see them winning that game. The 49ers
Even
defense
at
is too
home,
good.
they're at home. You know.
Even at home, even with the last pick in this past year's draft.
Who's the backup now to Purdy?
I'm not too sure. Let's see.
That could be a factor if he gets hurt, you know. And they bring in somebody that never played quarterback before.
Maybe. They got Josh Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Journeyman.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy G would be so regardless. Debo is they're saying Debo's out, like I said, for the next 3 weeks, supposedly the report is. So
What's his injury?
I think it's a leg injury.
Yeah.
I think it might have been an ACL tear, and I think it's an MCL sprain. So we'll see. But I think that does wrap it up for us here at the Harvey Hour. I think I'm on social media here. Yeah. Follow us on social media at Nathan T. Harvey1 on Twitter, at the Harvey Hour on TikTok for exclusive content, clips, and reactions during the games. I'll definitely be tweeting Warriors game earlier today. Why not? We'll do we didn't make this as a topic, but Warriors are playing tonight at Bucks. Bucks are favorite at home -2.5. Who you picking? They're actually playing right now.
The Bucks are playing in the Warriors or the other way?
Bucks are at home. Warriors on the road.
I think the Bucks will win.
I'm going Warriors, who are up right now 11-7, 7:44 on TNT. But that does wrap it up for this. Let me get this right. That does wrap it up for us here at the Harvey Hour. My name is Nathan Harvey. That's my dad, Stephen Harvey. We are the Harvey Hour. We will catch you guys. Was it Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube.
Bye-bye.
Introducing video podcasts on Spotify
Transform your storytelling into a show everyone can watch.
or listen to.
Easily upload your video through Anchor, Spotify's free podcast creation tool.
So whether you're showing off a new recipe
Interviewing an exclusive guest,
or uncovering the next mystery,
you can now reach a whole new audience with Spotify.
podcasting just became more than audio.
Create with Anchor, watch on Spotify.